Good afternoon. We are live. Welcome to this WrestleMania weekend. Welcome to Jonesy Chats Wrestling. And in just a few seconds, we're going to be telling you about last night's WrestleMania Smackdown. Plus, we will be discussing who AJ Styles originally requested a match against at this year's WrestleMania. We'll also have an update on some wrestlers who are due to return to WWE shortly. Stay tuned. We want to hear your opinion and excitement in the comments of WrestleMania. We hope you listen to Jonesy Chats Wrestling with George and Steve from SCW coming up next. Stay tuned. It's on the way. It's WrestleMania weekend. It's time to get excited. Stay tuned. It's on the way. Hi, welcome back to Jonesy Chats Wrestling. We're here today discussing WrestleMania, Smackdown, and a lot of other stuff. I've got Steve joining me from SCW. We're going to have a fun show in a few seconds. For anyone's joining us first time today, new viewers and old, you're welcome. We hope you enjoy the show. Please give us a thumbs up as you go through the channel, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave your comments. We want your interaction. We really want to hear what you think about WrestleMania and Smackdown. But before we go any further, how are you today, Steve?
Yeah, really good, thank you. I've got WrestleMania fever. It's kicked in. We're on the day. It's here. Forget the build, forget everything else. It's WrestleMania night 1 tonight, night 2 tomorrow. Get your snacks ready, get your your drinks ready, whatever it is that you're into, and boom, let's get on it. It's WrestleMania time. I'm super excited, man. I'm pumped.
Definitely, I'm really excited. It's going to be a good show. We've got double the duty. We've obviously got WrestleMania tonight, WrestleMania tomorrow. It makes it double better, doesn't it?
It does. I'm just jealous, though, always of like people that other side of the pond in America. They can enjoy the pizzas and all the stuff with it. Like literally, our dinner time's completely long gone by the time it started. It's 1 a.m. Literally for me, though, the cake is on the side. I've got some alcohol at home. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a great time.
Definitely, sounds like a good plan. Just going to go to the comments quickly. I've got one here, the almighty CR21. Good afternoon to you, mate. Thank you for checking out the channel. I can't wait to go to WrestleMania. I'm legit nervous. Fans are finally back. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing live, I expect. I think WWE are going to put out a lot of surprises.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to WrestleMania, man, have the best time, man. Seriously.
Yeah, we really hope you enjoy it, definitely. Let's get into kind of this SmackDown show. So, obviously, this SmackDown show was a go-home to kind of WrestleMania, aptly named SmackDown WrestleMania, WrestleMania Smackdown. Did you think the intro presentation was as good as other years compared to sort of what we're used to in the past, showing our age now? Oh,
God, we're showing the age, are we? Yeah, I mean, there were obviously previous times and previous years where we've had more perhaps hype put into it. Of course, you've heard me talk about SmackDown a little bit already off air. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel that this was more, they could have done more, really. This kind of was just, we're at going to WrestleMania, but not too much more was put into it than perhaps what we could have had.
I expected we'd see something like this, like I'm going to show you right now. This is nostalgia.
Welcome to the March to WrestleMania. This is Vince McMahon, along with Bobby the Brain Heenan. Wrestling Federation proudly presents the March to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I definitely think, looking back at that, March to WrestleMania, showing our age now, obviously it was the go-home show to certain points of WrestleManias in the past. I think it was okay with what they did with SmackDown WrestleMania this year. I think it was okay in parts. I think the ring being decorated was fine, but there was nothing really that really hyped it up really to the point of this is WrestleMania tomorrow. It was kind of missing this week, I felt. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that comment.
I do indeed, but one thing I'm going to say now, I'm going to show me Edge again as well, and however cheesy that music is, damn, I love it. I love to hear that song this time of year. It's not WrestleMania if you don't hear that on the day of WrestleMania. So, yeah, that for me really gets me pumped. And I probably was the same age as the little lad in the green T-shirt at that time, sort of throwing his arms in the air at that age. So that probably would have been me. And do you know what? Today, that still is me. I'm the little lad inside today, excited for WrestleMania. So, yeah, I do agree that the way that that's presented there was pretty darn awesome. And we didn't get that on SmackDown. But you know what? I still have the vibes there. And SmackDown, yeah, it didn't have that special uniqueness, but they gave us some stuff. And there was a couple of matches certainly to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Going to quickly go to the comments there. So I've got one here, the almighty CR21, March to Mania, pal. Yeah, definitely March to Mania. That was good nostalgia. But no, definitely. Let's get into this SmackDown show. So obviously going into it, there's a lot of important matches and stuff they couldn't get on the pre-show. So in ring, we obviously have Daniel Bryan. He's there with a massive, strong promo. It then ends up kind of with other people sort of there as well. What did you think of the opening kind of promo for Daniel Bryan? He's very passionate, wasn't he?
Very passionate, but I didn't really get a lot of new information that I hadn't already heard. You know, Daniel Bryan's used to hearing the word no a lot. Of course, at one point in his career, he was saying no a lot as well, but he seems to forget. But in recent years, it's all about hearing the word yes. And Daniel Bryan, he likes to make things happen. And he's got himself into this match, and certainly has been the trending topic all this week. You've seen all the fantastic things that people have done with that, and Daniel Bryan and himself in it for a triple threat match, whether it's SmackDown versus Raw, whether it's Freddie versus Jason, Adam and Eve. It doesn't matter. Daniel Bryan's thrown himself in there. He's got himself at WrestleMania. This could be his last WrestleMania. Who knows? But he's going to make the moment count. It certainly is a hype package, but at the same time, it didn't really give a lot new for me. It didn't really build any more expectation than we already had.
I think it was great. They're really trying to get the fans behind him, aren't they? They're really trying to paint this underdog story. Daniel Bryan's the only babyface going into this triple threat, if that makes sense. So I think they did a good job. He's excelled at the promos, that's for sure. I think it definitely makes me want to see this match, that's for sure. Would you agree or disagree about seeing this match?
It's one of the matches I'm most excited about on the entire card, but I can't say that promo did anything more for me. But at the same time, Daniel Bryan, that was his job there, wasn't it? He was the hype man, really, more than anything. He was like, explain how fans are going to be back, and as much as great the Thunderdome is, there's nothing like live fans and stuff like that. That was pretty much, Daniel Bryan, go out and be the cheerleader, get everyone as hyped as possible, but also say some things about your match at WrestleMania. It's just, unfortunately, it was kind of filler in a way because of the fact that there wasn't anything new added to what we already had to the loads of the story. But certainly the passion's there. You can't ask for more than that. Daniel Bryan did deliver when it comes to that. And yeah, I mean, as you can see already, I'm excited for WrestleMania.
100%. We've got this fatal four-way SmackDown Tag Team Championship. So we've got defending champions, Dirty Dogs, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, the Mysterios. This was an okay match. Really, really good. They didn't get much time, but I enjoyed what happened. And shockingly, we got a title retained. So the Dirty Dogs retained the belt. Very, very surprised. I think maybe in hindsight, it's probably the right decision. The Mysterios with no crowd to win the belt probably wasn't the most clever thing. So I'm a fan of it. I'm just interested to see where they go next, really, because I thought we'd get new champions here. What was your thoughts on the match and the outcome?
Yeah, I thought the match was fun. I thought the match was good. I love the way it started with a big brawl on the stage. I thought that was really kind of a fun, unique way to get it going. We can't even wait for a WrestleMania, kind of that vibe. I like that. But yeah, like you said, the result was a surprise. It was a bit of a dud with the result, I must admit, but it was a clever way that it came to that victory. Robert Roode actually pinning his former tag team championship partner of years gone by, Chad Gable. Just a couple of things, minor notes from it. Like you said, probably the right move that Mysterios didn't win here because it's probably not the right place for it. It was supposed to be a WrestleMania moment, so they're not ready yet. Their moment and time will come. It's obviously not just yet. But also, as well as that, I just kind of felt myself, Alpha Academy, they've been on a roll, and Chad's the one that takes the pinfall. I don't know, perhaps for me, it could have been a better way, or someone else could have took the pin here. I don't think that was the right person to take the fall. But at the same time, I thought the match was solid. It was decent. It was a lackluster victor. But hey, we're on the road to WrestleMania. Like you say, in hindsight, maybe it's the right thing. Definitely.
Last thing I've got to kind of add on it, I think maybe we'll get a Mysterios Dirty Dogs match, probably at Money in the Bank. I'll put that there now. I think this is going to continue. But no, I thought it was okay. Just a shocking result. I didn't get that prediction right, which was kind of a change. Going to the comments quickly. Got one here from Steve, regular co-host as well on NXT. Just a reason to not have the titles on TV with the retain. 100%. I think that's a sensible comment. As we said earlier, the Mysterios winning the belt would have been better with a crowd. So I think it's a good decision. Would you agree with that, Steve, in the comment?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Definitely. Kind of moving forward then. So we obviously then had a backstage interview, Caleb Braxton and Bianca Belair. Just a quick sort of hype job. I thought it was good. It just paints sort of the picture that people are really behind Bianca Belair going into this big main event tonight. What did you think of this interview?
I think it was all right. It was probably the best babyface promo Bianca's done for a little while. I like the fact that she sort of said, however dangerous Sasha's going to be, she is the EST, and all those ESTs put together makes her the dangerous one. And it'll be the best night of her life if she wins at WrestleMania. So isn't she married to Montez Ford? I'm sure he loved that comment. But no, on a serious note, though, it'd be a big monumental moment if she gets that win at WrestleMania. A main event. I mean, she's so young into her career as well. This is incredible. A star could really literally be born tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be an interesting match. We obviously got this video package. Big E's coming home. He goes back to the Raymond James Stadium. It was really impactful. Interesting enough, there's still no disclosure on what this match involves. We still don't know, as you said in your live stream earlier today. Nobody knows exactly what a Nigerian drum fight is. But I thought it was a good babyface promo. I think it delivered on all points, really. What was your thoughts on the promo?
Amazing. I loved the package of Big E. I actually was surprised, because I wasn't aware that Big E was from Tampa. So all of a sudden, we've got this, with the Nigerian drum fight, that kind of home field advantage where it felt for Apollo. Actually, it's the home field advantage with Tampa for Big E. I love the fact that he said, he goes back to his roots to get his head game in, and the fact with his haircut and, sort of showing off his school and, Raymond James Stadium where he played football in college. This was incredible stuff. Really took it seriously. I'm really into this feud. I think this is one of the best mid-card feuds built for a very long time in WWE. In fact, I don't know the last time the Intercontinental Championship was taken this seriously when you look actually the effort that's been put into a program going to WrestleMania. That's something of old. That's something that we can turn around and say, that is like marching to Mania. You didn't get that for the last sort of 5 to 10 years, probably even 15 years. So great job all round here to everyone involved here. And for me, personally, I said Apollo was going to win. I'm now starting to lean towards Big E. It could be a last-minute change here. We'll have to see how we go on.
I'm going for Apollo. This is Apollo's own match. I think after the Fastlane injustice, I don't know how I feel about Apollo losing his own match. I think for me, my money, all my bets that I've put on are on Apollo. I don't see Apollo losing here. Although Big E's been built really, really strong, but he doesn't really lose. Big E hasn't lost for ages in a singles match, so it's going to be great. I'm really excited for it, regardless of the stipulation, regardless if we see something sort of that doesn't kind of fit. Even if we kind of see something that we don't expect. So say this happens, for example, Steve. Go into another clip here. So even if that happens in the crowd, even the crowd have got that, then I guess that could be an interesting something to see, really. I don't know what you think.
That sounds horrific to me. If that was happening at WrestleMania, I don't think I'd be a fan personally. I'm hoping for like a Belfast brawl, a good old-fashioned street fight, like we had with Finley and JBL WrestleMania 24. I'm hoping something like that. Yeah, there'll probably be some drums around ringside. I guess that something like that is going to go down. But I'm hopeful that this is going to be done into a good old-fashioned, street fight kind of type match, no DQ. We want to see the stairs involved like they did in the early part of the rivalry. I think that would be very important to me. But one thing I just wanted to give a shout out to WWE very quickly. Can we please make sure that George's bets come through? He's promised me a pint. Those ones need to come through, all right? So let's not let him down.
Definitely. I put the mortgage on it, so I'm not that stupid, thank God. No, it'll be a cheap pint, that's for sure. But no, going forward then, so going to go to the comments quickly. We've got the almighty CR21. Thank you for your comment again. Bad Bunny debut tonight should be cool. He's preparing for his match last night. Yeah, his debut is going to be great. I think he's had a lot of time to prep. And I think he's going to be more Pete Dunne than Lawrence Taylor. I think he's going to be really, really good. I don't know if you agree or got anything to add with that comment.
Yeah, I think I've got high hopes for Pete Dunne. I think we spoke about this when we did a review earlier in this week on your channel. And I've got high hopes for Bad Bunny. I think that I don't expect like Pat McAfee, that sort of level. I mean, that was unbelievable, a completely different end of the scale. But we've had some that have been really awful as well. I expect somewhere in the middle. Obviously, the tag team match actually helps now. I think it's going to be great all round because the star power is there with Bad Bunny for this match. People will be invested. The babyfaces win. He has a good performance. Damian Priest gets the rub. This is win, win, win all over.
Definitely. Going to go to the comments now. We've got a couple of comments in. Noob and Co, good morning. Good morning to you, Noob. I hope you enjoy WrestleMania, wherever you are. And thank you for the comment. Thank you for checking out the live stream. And we've got one other one from Kobe Talks. Thank you for checking out the live stream, Kobe. Hope you're well. Excited for WrestleMania. I know it's on an ungodly time here in the United Kingdom, but I hope you enjoy it when you see it, definitely. Going back to kind of SmackDown then. So obviously with SmackDown, we had this impromptu match, Nia Jax versus Tamina. Interesting match, came from sort of nowhere. Ends up with Tamina getting the win by disqualification when sort of Shayna runs in. Interesting note, Reginald didn't really do much, which I'm surprised. This is the least he's been involved in any sort of match involving Nia for a while. What did you think of the match?
And he was still involved in the tug and war, wasn't he? But yeah, no, it's one of them that you sit and think to yourself, why have they put this on here? I had no interest in seeing it. Do people that are watching this care? I didn't either. It's just for me, this match was unnecessary, but I know why WWE did it. They want Natalya and Tamina to look like the strongest team going into this turmoil and potentially being seen as a team that can actually win those tag team championships. Natalya beat Shayna Baszler last week. They had to do it with Tamina winning this week. The DQ finish was a bit messy. I would have just gone out clean if you had to, but this was why they did it, and they've made Natalya and Tamina look like the strong team going in at WrestleMania. I do wonder, though, if that will turn to be their downfall as we go on to the next segment.
Definitely. So we obviously had Kayla Braxton. She's with the women's tag division. It just ends up in a massive brawl. We do get an addition of Carmella and Billie Kay. So they are there after what we said on Monday Night Raw's review. They're there, which is great. By the end of it, it's only Tamina and Natalya that are standing tall. Did you enjoy this sort of backstage brawl and fracas between all the women's tag teams?
It's a bit messy, isn't it? Let's be honest. But obviously, they want to establish one team as the dominant team here, and they've done that with Natalya and Tamina. I don't think they're going to be the team that goes to night 2. I've got a bit of a sneaky suspicion that Carmella and Billie Kay will be the two, mainly because Carmella, obviously, they have no chemistry as a tag team, nothing like that. But Carmella and Reginald, that storyline, I mean, it's there, isn't it? Kind of in the background. They kind of brought it up a couple of weeks ago. They subtly brought it up, which makes me think that we're supposed to remember it for a reason. Billie Kay has been looking for a tag team partner since January. The resume has gone around through the Royal Rumble with the Riot Squad in all different formats. Now someone's finally taken it, and you turn around and say, maybe this could be the team that work. It's not the Iconics. It's not, Carmella and Bayley, who are good friends outside of this. But you know what? I've got a feeling they're going to be the team to do it. And do you know what would be the funniest thing in the world if Reginald actually turned on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania to give the belts to Carmella, and the whole thing was a ruse all along? It's probably very out of this world, never going to happen, but certainly it would be a fun twist.
Definitely. Going to go to the comments there. We've got a good one here from Steve. Do you think we could get another Damien Sandow or Billie Kay and Carmella? You never know. Maybe it's a good comparison. I'd like to see it. I'd be interested. It's a shame Peyton Royce is in this match in some sort of capacity, because I think the reunion could have been good at WrestleMania. But I don't know what you think about that. I
mean, there still was an outside chance that some other teams could be added that we don't know about. I mean, you said Peyton Royce is not involved in WrestleMania. Nikki Cross is another one. I think I must speak about Nikki Cross on a weekly basis now. Where is she? Put her on TV. She's talented. Alexa Bliss actually doesn't have a match. I know I can't see how she'd be included in any way, shape, or form. But Charlotte Flair is another one, along with Bayley. So, I mean, that was suggested as an idea to me before. I don't necessarily know if that would happen with Bayley and Charlotte, but they're on two different shows. But, I mean, imagine if the coming together of the 4 horsewomen could happen. That could be quite fun. It would be something different. And those tag team championships certainly would have a purpose if they were on Bayley and Charlotte Flair. So anything could happen. Let's not rule it out. But for right now, my prediction remains Carmella and as well with Billie Kay.
Interesting. Going to go to another sort of segment. So we've obviously got Edge in the ring. Edge does another fantastic kind of promo. Since this guy's come back, he's been phenomenal. His promos have been out the park. I really kind of enjoyed this. Edge going into this triple threat for the Universal title tonight. Very strong. What did you think of the promo?
Oh, incredible. This was the highlight of the show. There was, the way Edge was, and he said everything. He said it in a heelish way, but everything he said was right. It was on point from start to finish. Looking at it, I mean, Edge, same with Daniel Bryan, how Daniel Bryan's weaseled his way in, and the fact is that this could be Edge's last WrestleMania match. And this was 10 years to the day since Edge had to have the championship taken away from him. Where's his video packages? Where's his big fuss being made about? This is what the feud should have been based on. I've said that the whole way through this. Where was that storyline? Because it was crying out for the comeback story. We never got it. And it now leads to Edge being this character that Edge does his best work. Edge being this kind of desperate, he's got a chip on his shoulder. I like this style from Edge. It's something for me that's very, very special. And it made me believe even more that I think Edge could be walking away here the victor on Sunday. And the fact is with Roman as well, the comparisons to the Shield used to come over the barricade as well. Both of them used the spear, started in a 3-man group. The comparisons are there. Stuff that I would say that I don't think any of us thought about, comparing the Brood to the Shield. Yeah, it's out there, but you know what? It's true. They both came through the crowd. Who remembers Edge from 1998? It's spot-on comments that Edge has made here, going through his career. It's like a journey from the start all the way to now, to culminating to Edge getting his WrestleMania moment, his WrestleMania main event that he's been hoping for such a long time. And it's great to see that potentially it could be happening again this Sunday. The main event is there, but is he walking away champion?
Yeah, interesting point. Going to the comments here, we got one from Kobe Talks. The exciting levels kicking in. It's the feel of WrestleMania, really. 100%. This only comes kind of once a year. I think the excitement level will be for the roof. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be watching it. I am going to be watching it probably tomorrow. I'm not going to stop and watch it, but I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm sure you're excited for it, Steve.
I am indeed. I am indeed. If I can keep up, I'll be foolish and go all the way, but we'll see how we go.
Definitely. Going to go to one other comment as well. We got one here from Nuba Cole. Thank you for your comment. I think it's high time for Shayna and Nia to break up, because Shayna needs to go for the Raw Women's title, because everyone wants Asuka and Shayna for the Raw Women's title. 100%. Shayna, unfortunately, is a bit the odd part in this tag team. I think she's been dumped. Unfortunately, her job was at jeopardy. I know that Vince McMahon wasn't particularly a massive fan of her when Paul Heyman left Raw, but she's been able to survive by being the tag team champion. But she definitely deserves better. It's not the Shayna Baszler we saw in NXT, unfortunately. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that, Steve.
Definitely not. No, she's not been booked like the Shayna Baszler that we've seen there. But do you know what? Shayna Baszler is a talent, and the fact that she's managed to come through when she was off TV, she's been a part of this tag team. I mentioned as well. I mean, just it's a crazy idea. I don't think it will happen, but I'm just throwing it out there. If Reginald actually turned on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to help Carmella and Billie Kay win those tag team titles, what more would Shayna Baszler need to turn around and break that tag team up and sort of then go after and say, right, okay, we're gonna take Nia Jax out of the equation and then go for the Raw Women's Championship. We've got the building blocks already in place. If Asuka and Shayna Baszler could be a feud for the championship somewhere further down the line, I think Noob makes a great point there. It's certainly stuff that could come together. I don't think it fully will come together, but I mean, the places are there in motion should someone want to pull the trigger.
100%. Because you obviously got this fun backstage segment. We've got Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. Adam and Sonya are discussing what they've just heard. Sonya disagrees. Reigns and Edge and Daniel Bryan should be a triple threat, stating that Daniel Bryan deserves a title shot some way, somehow. This should be a singles match. A really interesting drop. I don't know why they've dropped this. It seems to be really, really kind of weird to drop this going into WrestleMania. Is this the Reginald Sasha Banks storyline all over where it goes nowhere? I was really kind of shocked by this comment, unless they're going to pay it off tonight at WrestleMania with having Sonya Deville in some sort of involvement that helps maybe Edge win the belt. For me, I thought it was a nice drop, but it doesn't go anywhere. I wasn't really a massive fan of it. It seemed to make no sense. It wasn't really they didn't make a big song and dance with it, which I kind of disappointed me. What was your thoughts?
Well, I like the fact that it's just a tease, isn't it? You kind of go, I don't know where this is going to go from here. Why did you say that? Is something going to come of this? Like you say at WrestleMania, is she aligned with Edge or is she aligned with Roman? I mean, Roman thinks he's bigger than the Authority, thinks he's bigger than Adam Pearce. If he has Authority in his pocket, like Sonya Deville, that would be quite interesting to see how that would play out on WWE TV. One thing I will say for sure, and I said it to you a long time ago, Adam Pearce is being undermined as his role. And we've had it in subtle teases here and there, from Roman at the beginning. We've had it from Shane McMahon in places, Braun Strowman. Sonya Deville has done it before. I'm actually predicting now that Sonya Deville will be the SmackDown GM come mid-summer. She will find a way to get Adam Pearce out of that role on SmackDown. Maybe Pearce is solely on Raw and Deville is on SmackDown and we have GMs again. And what would be really fun is if they really built that well and they kind of break up like that, they can actually make it where Raw and SmackDown have a proper rivalry. Rather than doing drafts, they can try and take people from shows and stuff like that. That would bring exciting, intriguing TV again.
I like it, mate. Definitely go into the comments here. We've got Rated R for Wrestling. Good afternoon to you, Anthony. Hope you're well. Thank you for checking that live stream. What a weird SmackDown. Agree. It's just a house show. It's filler. As we said earlier, it's going on the way up to WrestleMania. They're wanting to get stuff done. Obviously, the license at the Performance Center is running up. So they taped this last week. They just taped as much as they can in the mass to try and get it ready before they move to the Union Center on Monday night. Would you agree it was a weird SmackDown, Steve?
Yeah, Rated R is on the money. It was definitely weird. I mean, we had a lot more promos than matches, that's for sure.
Definitely. So we obviously had this fun sort of video package. It's Sami Zayn, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. Sami's at the boxing gym. He then goes out to get his gear. He then can't get back in it. And then obviously Sami Zayn's then at the announce table. He basically says that he got in later. They question him about whether Logan Paul really knows who he is. It ends up with Kevin Owens kind of attacking Sami Zayn from nowhere. And Kevin Owens basically says that he'll see him at WrestleMania. For me, I kind of enjoyed this. I thought it was great to see both Logan Paul and his brother there. Fun cameo. I think really the end game with this is at WrestleMania, we are going to get Logan Paul hit Sami or not admit he doesn't know who Sami Zayn is. But Kevin Owens has got the domination going into this match at WrestleMania. He's totally dominated the feud so far, which it's only going one way at WrestleMania as well. It's a strange booking. What was your thoughts this promo and the outcome?
It's a unique promo. It was fun to watch, that's for sure. Sami Zayn is an absolute star, isn't he? The way he's sort of been put everything together in the recent months. And despite losing, he's got momentum, and that's what I really like about it. And everything that he does is entertaining, comical, funny. You're invested in what he does as a segment. But it's interesting to see because Logan Paul feels like he doesn't want to have anything to do with Sami. So all of a sudden, where I was hoping in the predictions I did earlier in the week that perhaps Kevin Owens would actually give a stunner to Logan Paul. Like you say, I think it's more likely now that Logan Paul does something to Sami Zayn. I think that's more than likelihood. Maybe Sami cheats to win. Maybe that's what's going to go down, and Logan Paul doesn't like it, and maybe that's what will go down. Who knows? But I said all along, I think Kevin Owens will win. I'm sticking with it. I'm not going to back out now, but I wouldn't be surprised to see something go down. Logan Paul's there for a reason, that's for sure. Definitely.
Going to go to the comments here. I've got one for Rated R for Wrestling. The three promos were awesome. I like how they all had different styles to them. Agree, all three characters in the triple threat, the Undisputed title, I think, Universal title, I think they all came across as credibility. You can see why they're up there in the main event of WrestleMania on night two, can't you, Steve?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. There were very good promos for very different reasons.
Definitely. So sort of moving forward then. So we've got this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This was a who's who. Loads of talent people here, like we have Mustafa Ali, Nakamura, Jey Uso. There's quite a few people here. We obviously had members of Retribution here as well, still in their old gear, which is crazy. It was a really kind of feel-good story. Really. I kind of enjoyed it. My only real criticism of it was the Hurt Business went far too soon. They were taken out well before other tag teams, which wasn't very good. But in the end, it ends up with Jey Uso getting the win. Main event, Jey got the win. I think it was the right decision. I was pleased to see him win. What were your thoughts of the Battle Royal and the outcome of it?
I thought it was all right. I think it was weird with the Hurt Business. Everyone's seen them as the threat, so they got rid of. Well, I keep saying the Hurt Business. They're not, are they? Shelton and Cedric, the team that were kicked out of the Hurt Business, were seen as the threat. And so everyone got rid of them. But no one worried about the Lucha House Party. No one worried about Retribution, Elias Jackson Riker. Those sort of talents that were together in the match, no one really cared about them as much, which was quite fun to see. But, yeah, I mean, all the jobbers were thrown over the top rope in quick time. The Final Four, like we say, Ricochet was in the Final Four. We had King Corbin was there, Shinsuke Nakamura and Jey Uso. Jey Uso eventually getting the victory, throwing out Nakamura as the last person that was there. This was the right move. Jey Uso, for me, it just culminates. It doesn't mean anything, this Battle Royal win, but it just says Jey Uso has had a great year. If you look where he was last year compared to now, he is main event Jey. This guy here right now, you could do something with him if you wanted to. And I hope WWE does. I really would love to see him in around the Money in the Bank. I'd love to see eventually another break-off of him and Roman Reigns. I think that the storyline is there if they wanted to do it. And I think people would be invested if they were to revisit that. But I can't see it happening. But one thing's for sure, Jey Uso, he got a great win here. He deserved this probably more than anyone in the match combined. I'm actually sad Jey Uso doesn't have a match at WrestleMania personally. But, yeah, great win all around. And, yeah, the Battle Royal was decent.
Definitely. I really hope sort of that we see some more of this talent. There's so much talent there that could be in sort of Intercontinental title matches and United States title matches that are wasted every single week. But yeah, I think it was great. The right person won. But I hope this winning the trophy gets him somewhere. It should be a title shot. I'm surprised it doesn't lead to him getting some sort of title shot on the pay-per-view, really. I thought that would have been good.
Yeah, I mean, the Intercontinental Championship would have been perfect, wouldn't it? Especially if Big E and Apollo, the winner of that, Jey Uso, great match, sign me up. Yeah,
going to go to the comments quickly. Got a couple of good comments here, so I'll bring them up. We've got one from Steve here. Benjamin Cedric to enter the loser locker room to never be seen again with Bo Dallas. I hope not, because Cedric Alexander is a fantastic wrestler. Sean Benjamin is a veteran, yes, but yeah, I'd be very disappointed, but never say never. Vince apparently doesn't like the Hurt Business, which is why they split, despite Lashley pleading. What do you think of the comments, Steve?
It did make me laugh, to be fair. Yeah, no, I agree with all the comments being made here. I hope they're not in the catering of Bo Dallas. You wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Cedric is a great talent. Shelton is a great talent as well. But like you say, he's aging. I can't see how he'll be a prominent role on WWE, sadly, going forward. If MVP and Lashley couldn't keep it together, then I don't know who could, really, because unfortunately, like you say, Vince just wasn't a fan of it. But I hope these guys find some way to go on WWE. Like I said, they're still seen as a threat in this match, at least, which was something. Maybe they can still go after the Raw Tag Team Championships as baby faces going into the summer.
Definitely. Going to go to another comment here. Kobe talks. WWE still can't even have the time of day to put Aleister Black in the Battle Royal. 100% agree. He is due back, though. He was at the Performance Center a couple of weeks ago, so he'll be back soon. I don't know whether it'll be NXT or WWE, but he probably won't be well booked, that's for sure. I agree with you there, Kobe talks, definitely. Have you got anything else you want to add, Steve, before we get to this sort of last segment?
No, let's go to the last segment. It's a shame that Black wasn't there, but yeah, hopefully he'll be back soon.
Definitely. So in ring, we've got Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Strong promo from Roman Reigns. Clearly, obviously, he's there hyping up the main event of WrestleMania. Really good promo from Roman. It shows why he is simply the Universal Champion, undisputed at promos, king of the promos. For me, interesting note, they piped in boos when tonight I'm sure he's going to be getting cheered. I'm interested to see how that sort of plays off with a live audience. What did you think of this go-home promo? Okay, so sort of going forward with this, Steve, did you hear the final promo from Roman Reigns? No? Okay.
I did,
so
yeah, sorry. I don't know quite what happened there. I lost you for a second.
Okay, just talking about Roman Reigns and the go-home kind of promo. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go solo. You hear me now? Okay, just from where we left off, what did you make of the main event of Roman Reigns' go-home promo?
I think it was good. I don't think it gave us anything more than what we already had seen before. But what I would say is that Roman Reigns delivers his lines very, very well. I like the fact that Roman said that he took everything away from Edge. Actually, Edge, you're going to blame me for this. It's me that did it. And he said that, Daniel Bryan wouldn't make him tap out, which makes you think maybe he might. There's lots of seeds of doubt going into this WrestleMania match coming out of it. They did do a good job with the words that they said. It gives you some belief that perhaps Daniel Bryan could be the one that could win the match. But I'm still sticking with the prediction. I still think Edge wins. But overall, this was solid.
Definitely. So what was your final kind of score of the show? Rate the score out of 10. And what did you think? What was your final sort of score of the night?
I gave it a 5 out of 10 on my stream earlier. I have to stick with that just for that reason. There was stuff on here that was probably unnecessary. Of course, we didn't even mention just random video packages thrown out from some of the Raw feuds going on. So, I mean, this stuff was kind of just to hype what's coming up, some bit unnecessary. Yeah, we could have been better with a March to Mania, like you said, there a bit more real hype going into it. But WWE, they just threw something on TV, told you WrestleMania is coming. Watch this for those couple of matches. The matches we got were fun. A couple of words that were said from some of the people was good. Edge's promo was fantastic, but I still stick with a 5.
Definitely. I'm going to go to my score. I'm going to go 5 out of 10. I thought it was okay. There was some big sort of movement coming out of the show, but there's nothing there. There's no real seeds planted for next week, which I felt was a big missing thing. Just before we kind of go forward then, Steve, I've got a few more comments. Just going to break up. Ryan Awesome. Good afternoon, Ryan. Lovely to see you here. Hope you're well, mate. Hello, Awesome Ones. Roman Reigns all the way. Yes, we'd like Roman Reigns to retain. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone saying that. Would you agree with that, Steve?
I would be complaining. This is the thing with that main event. Anyone can win. I'm not going to complain. I'll be happy. So I predict Edge is going to win. But I mean, if Roman walks away still champion, he's in the best work of his career. Why would I complain? It'd be amazing.
Definitely. Going to go to this comment as well. We've got a great one here from Kobe Talks. I'm glad WWE didn't have Edge, Reigns and Bryan brawl before Sunday or have another boring contract signing. Very good go-home show booking. Agreed. I'm quite a fan of and partial of the brawling. I quite like it when they brawl, but they've had little or no contact really, haven't they, on this week? They had no contact at all, so saving it for tomorrow night, which probably is clever. Were you a fan of that comment, Steve? Okay, no problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go forward now. So quickly going forward, obviously, with the other news stories we've got here. So I've got a couple of other news stories as well. So I'm going to break them down for you now. So obviously going forward, there was a big sort of tease that broke yesterday. Apparently, this could be a WrestleMania spoiler, so you may want to mute for a second. There is rumours going around that Becky Lynch is going to be coming back to WrestleMania tonight. Dave Meltzer did report yesterday that there may be a segment with Bayley, a Din Don Hello segment, where Becky Lynch will crush it with a truck. For me, I think it's okay. It's no way to bring her back. I think the interesting dynamic is if we're going to get new women's champions on both brands, how that affects kind of Becky Lynch. Are you back now, Steve?
Yeah. For me, as far as I'm aware, I never went. So,
okay.
yeah. No, I'm here. Yeah, I can hear everything you're saying, man.
Perfect. So what's your take of this Becky Lynch return that's rumored tonight, supposedly?
I mean, of course, she's teased it, isn't she? She can be a bit of a troll when she wants to. She did this with the Royal Rumble. If this was to be where Becky returns and it's in Hello Ding Dong, or Ding Dong Hello, I should say, for Bayley, that would be a great WrestleMania moment, a great return for her to come back in. I'd like to see her on SmackDown. That would be my preference of a show if she was to come in. But as well, you'd have a great feud as well. Becky Lynch and Bayley, if you could book that going forward, that would be interesting. Something for them to do. Becky can work her way going into the championship picture sort of further down the line. So I'd like to see it. I still think there's going to be some trolling in this, and maybe it's actually going to be night 2, not night 1, just to make fans go, "Oh, it never happened," and then boom, it happens on night 2. That would be pretty awesome. But let's wait and see. It's a pinch of salt I take this with. I don't take it too seriously.
No, definitely. We should see what happens. I'm going to go to the comments now. We've got Martin Corello. Hello, Martin. Thank you for checking out the stream. Hello, is it me or is it weird that Edge, Daniel Bryan, or Roman have not even looked eye to eye in the show? They're keeping him away because it's Sunday night. They want to keep his contact as much as minimal. But I agree, it is strange we didn't have that face off. What do you think, Steve?
Social distancing, wasn't it?
Social distancing, no, yeah, definitely. Going to go to the other comment we've got here as well. Kobe Talks. Lynch returns, goes on SmackDown, has feuds with Bayley, Banks, Belair, and Sonya. 100% agree. I think that would be perfect. I just hope she doesn't go to Raw. Although Raw needs a lift, I think SmackDown's the place to go. It's far more fun. Would you agree with the destination of Becky Lynch on SmackDown?
It's what I would like, because you say those matches there, it feels fresh, it feels exciting. Becky's not been on SmackDown for a long time, so that for me would be awesome. But of course, if she went to Raw, I mean, she did kind of hand the championship to Asuka, so that there is, we could have unfinished business. We could have a match between those two, but I do feel I've seen that match more times than what I've seen some of these other ones. Lynch against Sasha Banks, yes, was a couple of years ago, but I don't remember a good program with Lynch and Bayley. That one really intrigues me. Belair as well says she wins the championship. That could be exciting to see. Even Carmella would be a great match to watch. So yeah, for me, I'd be quite keen to see Becky Lynch on SmackDown. Let's not forget Seth Rollins is currently on SmackDown as well.
That's a good point. Definitely. Got one other rumoured return as well. This isn't WrestleMania, but there was a conference call this week with Nick Khan. Nick Khan is like the president of WWE. He's some sort of president, something like that. There are rumours going around that Ronda Rousey, although her contract expired last week, she's set to renew. She's due to be coming back soon. Are you a fan of Ronda Rousey coming back? I think she'll be a great addition to either brand.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, WWE will take women's wrestling so seriously with her back. I mean, she's got casual name value. Just bringing her back in itself will bring more eyes to the product. We've got our hardcore demographic, but other people will come and say, oh, Ronda Rousey, I remember she was there. I enjoyed it when she was there. They had that show Evolution and stuff. So they'll go and do it. And of course, WrestleMania main event, the first one featured Ronda Rousey. So there'll be more main events with it when that happens. So yeah, if it does happen, I think it would be pretty cool because Ronda still, I mean, she did kind of put over Becky Lynch, but that match still needs to happen at some point down the line.
Yeah. I think Ronda Rousey, if she comes back, has to be a killer heel for me. I think she needs to come back arrogant, and she could be very much like the female Brock Lesnar. She could be the one that brushes off the fans, and I think they're going to need that. I think she'd be a great sort of program for Bianca Belair when she wins the belt tonight. I think she's going to be a great opponent potentially. I don't know if you agree with that feud. I
would love it. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, I want to see bitter Ronda Rousey, she comes back because of that WrestleMania 35, the way it finished, how unappreciated she felt, and while she's been away, and all the things she said about pro wrestling while she's been away. I want to see that brought into TV. I think it'll be fun to watch.
Perfect. I'm going to go to the last comments before we get the final news story, and we'll just do some last discussion on WrestleMania. So I'm going to go to the final comments we've got here. So Ryan Awesome, Seth is on SmackDown, so I can see Lynch on SmackDown as well. I agree, Ryan. Great analysis. I think Steve said it. I think it's spot on. I think that would make sense. Martin Curillo, do you guys think maybe, just maybe Finn Balor goes back to the main roster? I highly doubt it. It depends on what he's going to do. Someone else said something similar to me. I can't remember who it is and give the name shout who said this. But someone else said to me, what's the point of him going back to the main roster? He'll just sit in the Intercontinental Championship division or somewhere like that. He won't add anything. He'll get lost in the shuffle. He'll be with them wrestlers on the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and that type of element. Would you be a fan of Finn going back to the main roster?
For me, I talked about this in my NXT Stand and Deliver review, which obviously only came out just last night. But I talked about Finn Balor, and I think there's some unfinished business with him and the Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole sort of storyline dynamic. And I do think at some point that Kyle O'Reilly needs his win against Finn Balor at some point further down the line. So for me, I think Finn does his best work in NXT. The Prince there is being booked to perfection. The last sort of 6 to 8 months of Finn Balor's career in particular has been electric. He's been back to the best that we've seen of Finn Balor. So I wanted to remain in NXT personally, but will he go to the main roster? Who knows? We have to wait and see.
Definitely. Got one here from Noob and Cole. Becky Lynch does have unfinished business with Asuka before going to SmackDown. Maybe she makes an appearance on Night 2 and does a perfect send-off between Asuka and Becky. I'd like to see it. I think it could be fun if she comes back on Night 2, but they need some sort of surprise element. This is the only time they're going to be in front of fans, probably to SummerSlam. So I think this is the place to bring it back. Would you agree with that, Steve?
I mean, I would. I think that if you're going to do something big, like you say, Raw after Mania, there can be surprises there. You wouldn't rule it out, but at the same time, like you said, the fans is key and is crucial here, and this is going to give everyone a big lift. The wrestlers themselves, the creative, hopefully, management, and also us, the fans, because yes, fans are going to be there, but the fans sitting watching at home, hearing a genuine reaction is going to mean so much. And if it is Becky Lynch that comes in, it's going to mean so much, whether it's to do with the SmackDown side, which I said I was preferable to, but I agree with Noob and Co. The Raw side, there is unfinished business, and if Becky Lynch comes back in any capacity, it's going to be a massive deal.
100%. What an acquisition, what a timing as well to get it back. I think it'd be great if it happens. It's just a shame really that hint's come out. I'm a bit disappointed that's come out, but we'll see if it's true or not. It's only kind of a rumor at the moment, although she's teased it on Instagram, as you said yourself, on your own channel. Sort of going into this then, so we've got this final kind of news story before we get some final WrestleMania thoughts to end the stream. So obviously last year, AJ Styles kind of hinted and provoked The Undertaker into a match. There was rumours this year that's been confirmed by Dave Meltzer as well this week. I said it a few weeks ago. I don't even remember the stream, Steve, where we said that we said Triple H wants AJ Styles or vice versa. Obviously, it's come out this week that the original plan for WrestleMania tonight would have been Triple H, AJ Styles. Would you rather have seen that rather than the tag team match we're seeing? Because I think it could have been a fantastic feud for all ages. I think the promos between both could have been phenomenal. Literally, I think it would have been a really, really good match.
I mean, that's a WrestleMania match all day long. I'm a big Triple H fan, love his work. I think he brings a great craftsmanship to what he does in the ring. He's got a unique, traditional wrestling style. He's actually starting to become like a throwback, actually, how Triple H actually wrestles. But I love watching him wrestle. AJ Styles can wrestle anyone in the world. It would be perfect. These two in the ring would have a monumental match. I would love to see it. Yes, it would be bigger than what we've got, but WWE sees something almost, and there is an attraction there of this guy. He's like, what, more than 7 foot tall. He's a big dude, and if he can wrestle and AJ Styles can carry him through to, like, say, SummerSlam or whatever like that, then they can have a new big star in their hands. And you do have to sometimes as well look for the future rather than just look at the now. And I do think sometimes with WrestleMania's past, as much as some of these matches have been absolutely incredible, and I would not take them back for the world, sometimes I think WWE have been short-sighted in not looking at building those new stars and giving them that big WrestleMania moment, because that's where it counts. You give them a big moment, Extreme Rules, cool, that's nice, but not everyone's watching. Do it where it counts, WrestleMania, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to give almost a big start here. It's not the biggest match on the card, that's granted, but if he wins a championship in his first match of WrestleMania, I don't think that's happened before. That would be special. And if AJ can carry him through to the summer and almost then becomes a big deal on WWE TV, who's to say by next year's WrestleMania almost isn't in a bigger match? It's something that can happen. It's building for the future. So I'd like to see what we've got now. But yes, somewhere down the line, let's revisit this match because I want to see it go down. Triple H and AJ Styles feels like a dream match.
100%. I think Omos is going to be good. I think he's going to surprise people. I think he's had a lot of time to work on his act, so I think it's going to be really, really good. Sort of going into kind of last comments before we get a final feel for WrestleMania tonight. So Kobe talks, great point here. WWE should have SummerSlam in front of a crowd and on a beach. 100%. They were going to do a beach last year. That rumor broke. I don't know what kind of happened where it went wrong, but I'm a fan of it. I've always been a fan of Bash at the Beach. I think it's got a great nostalgic feel. What do you think of that, Steve?
Absolutely, particularly Bash of the Beach 1995. It was literally a beach rather than just the set. They actually were on an actual beach, and it was really cool. If you've not seen that show on the WWE Network, I won't say it's the best show to go and watch, but if you want that feel of what a SummerSlam would look like that, go and check that show out because the crowd and just the energy and the look of it, it's unique to like nothing else. And yeah, I'm down for that. I'd love to see that particularly.
Definitely. Going to go to this comment here. This is a great one. Martin Carrillo, which match will over-deliver aside from Bianca and Sasha? For me, I think the obvious one that will probably over-deliver, I think that tag match is going to be great. I think the New Day AJ Styles Omos is going to be great. You've got AJ Styles there. He's a great worker. Xavier Woods in a bad worker, neither is Kofi Kingston. And we've got Omos as an unknown quality, so I think that will deliver. What about you, Steve? What match do you think will over-deliver besides the women's world title match?
I think in a way, over-delivering. I'm going to say Asuka Rhea Ripley, just purely because, I mean, I've hyped some of what I think will be the best matches, but I think people expect those matches like Cesaro and Seth Rollins to be awesome matches. Asuka Rhea Ripley on paper is a great match, but I think people have gone in with a bit of a feeling because of the way it's been booked with Rhea the last couple of weeks. But I think when it comes to Showtime, it comes to the night, WrestleMania, I think that match is going to be a fantastic match.
Definitely. I'm going to quickly go to sort of just a little bit of hype video here, just to hype up tonight's WrestleMania. You're going to see what the stage looks like as well. Let us know in the comments if you're excited for this Mania. I can tell a lot of people are as well. This is just going to hype. And we're going to go, the last thing we're going to discuss about before we end the video shortly in a couple of minutes is what's going to be match of the night, or match of the weekend, basically. We're going to cover that quickly. So let's get this hype video up. Yeah, I see that and I feel buzzed. I feel excited. I'm energized. We're looking forward to this WrestleMania. There's so many matches, although they've not been built very well, are going to be great in ring. I think for me, a dark match that I see that's going to be great. That I think we've seen a lot on Raw, but I think in ring, in front of a crowd, Riddle versus Sheamus. If you ignore the stupidity of Riddle, this is going to be great in ring. It's going to be very hard hitting, and I think Riddle's going to do the impossible. I think he's going to retain. What's going to be your match of the weekend? Do you think?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, the thing is, the said match of the weekend, I think you can't look past that triple threat match. There's so much storyline and emotion that's gone into it on night two. I think that's going to be really one to look forward to. For me as well, I said Cesaro and Seth Rollins, I think will be the match of night one. But like you said, there's some sleeper matches there that you could probably look over and go, well, I'm not going to think of much going in. But when you see it in ring, it's going to be awesome. I think Riddle is a great opponent for Sheamus. They've got great chemistry in ring. Just get rid of the flying birds effect. I hate that. But either Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon, how awful that has been, despite the fact that Shane has been trying to Hulk, Braun Strowman up with slime and making green. For me, look at it when it comes down to it. The steel cage element, I think, could be a fun match. And if they do a finish where it could be something exciting and different, I think it could be a brilliant match. We'll have to wait and see. Shane does something insane at WrestleMania each and every year. Let's wait and see what it's going to be this year. I've got a funny feeling he's going to be thrown off that steel cage for an announcer's table and win the match.
Definitely. Do we see them getting out the steel cage and then ended up on the pirate ship maybe? Because that pirate ship looks amazing in the set that I've seen so far. It looks unbelievable.
Someone's going to do it. I mean, Kevin Owens wanted to do it last year, so let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Someone's going to do it. It's just who.
Someone will have to walk the plank, literally, but no, definitely.
Yes.
Before we end the video today, thank you all very much for your comments. It's been really great to hear your opinions, your excitement for WrestleMania. Just before we end the video today, Steve, please tell everyone coming up what you've got on your fantastic channel. I know you're going to be in quite a few places this evening if people still want to see your content and stuff. Yeah,
let's hope people still care about my views by the end of today because, literally, this is video 2 of me today. I've given my SmackDown review on my channel, doing a live stream there. And then, obviously, I'm going to be on Rated R with yourself in just over 15 minutes' time. So, going to have to refresh up for that one. We're going to be talking night 1 of WrestleMania. Great predictions there. I'm joining Tom Colahue as well at 11 p.m. British summertime. And of course, that means that will be 6 p.m. Eastern time, taking you literally to when WrestleMania starts. We're going to be talking everything WrestleMania, getting you hyped up for the show. So definitely recommend going and checking it out. I know that's going to be on Twitch. Hopefully it's on YouTube as well. But definitely, you can see my Twitter handle there. Go and follow me on Twitter if you're not already. And I'm going to share everybody of where I'm going to be so you can actually follow the links and keep up with what's going on. But of course, WrestleMania reviews will be coming up, and as well, check out my NXT Stand and Deliver review. That is actually up now. That came up last night. It's a bit later than I wanted to be, but it's a good review. A lot of ideas of what should be going forward on NXT, so make sure to go and check it out. No Ask SCW this week, no Q&A, but that will be returning next weekend.
Definitely. Just going to go to the last comment we've got here. Kobe Talks, great stream. Next up to the big round table. Yep, for everybody just watching that doesn't know, if you YouTube Rated R for Wrestling, there's going to be a load of YouTube contents on there, loads of different opinions. It'll be great to hear everyone's opinion, but I thank you all very much for kind of watching. And just before we end the show, I just want to, Steve, listen, I want to thank you so much for doing the show. It's been great to hear your opinion. Thank you very much during this busy WrestleMania season coming on and always giving us your opinion. It's great to hear.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to be here. And like we've seen in the comments there, it's been awesome content. Really enjoy your stuff as always. It's always great to talk pro wrestling with you. So thanks for having me. And everyone subscribe to Jonesy if you haven't already.
Everyone subscribe to Steve. This guy's only 8 subs away from 1,000, so that's pretty impressive. So anybody, I'm sure everybody's that already sub to you, but please, if you aren't, please sub to this guy. His content's great. Thank you all for joining and watching us. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy WrestleMania. If you're tuning in, stay safe and be well. Thank you for all your support as well. We're going to see you shortly on the Rated R for Wrestling channel for WrestleMania 37 Night 1 predictions. Please, on the way out, hit the thumbs up. And on the way out, I just really hope you enjoy it. But that's it from here. I want to thank you all for listening. Enjoy WrestleMania, and we'll see you sort of on the other side. So, yeah, thank you for your time. Take care, guys, and peace.